going to move that in a minute. We got work to do here. I got my brother in the building, Ishmael Bey. I'm calmed down because I got a lot of information that I want to give out. Ish, I'm pretty sure got a lot of information that he want to give out. I'm a little bit pumped up today. Let me move this out the way. You know what I mean? So y'all can enjoy the sights of your brother, Tariq Bey. Shout out to my brother Ishmael Bey. Before I bring him in, I'd like to first say, family, as I always say, what had happened was, what had happened, family, is that throughout the years, those Moors in the temple dropped the ball. And what I mean by drop the ball, the Moors in the temple, that's right. I started off talking about the Moors in the temple. What I mean by the Moors in the temple dropped the ball is that the prophet said to imitate the prophet. He said, imitate I the prophet, quote unquote. Now, I will add to that. Do what he did. Move like he moved. Organize the way that he organized. But if you don't know what the prophet did, there's no way that you can duplicate it. So imitating the prophet only means duplicate the work which he did. So, in saying that, obviously, the Moors, the elders in the temple did not do that. Why am I saying that? The Prophet Noble Drew Ali in 1926, 27, 28, 29 was known to be standing on a milk crate on 35th and State Street. Kind of like you seen in the Malcolm X movie when they were in Harlem. You had Al Sharpton on a milk crate one place. You had Malcolm X on a milk crate on another corner. And you had other people that was proselytizing on a milk crate on another corner in Harlem. Now, spin that around for a minute. Put yourself in the state of mind of 1926, 27, 28. Let's do it right there. Show me one grand sheik. And I'm not talking about my brother Azim Hopkins Bey that go in the streets. I'm not talking about my brother Fuqua Bey that go into the streets today. I'm not talking about them. Before them brothers, show me one grand sheik. I'm not talking about Arnell Bey that ride around the country. I'm not talking about him. I'm not talking about him. I'm not talking about Kenyu Bey that see him moving and shaking. Not talking about them. Talking about these brothers. I'm talking about before them. Show me one grand sheik that stood on a corner and talked. Yeah, Heru Venesiel. I'm not talking about Heru Venesiel. I'm not talking about him. You know, I'm not talking about him feeding the people standing on the streets and in the ATL. Not talking about him. Not talking about him. Before these brothers, show me. And if I miss the grand sheik of today that's moving and shaking this, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking before them. Show me a grand sheik that stood out and stood on the corner facing their people and teaching Moorish science. Because that didn't happen, because the Moors went indoors, this weird Moorish science grew legs and ran. So now people think that this weird Moorish science is the authentic Moorish science. So now when I say that the treaty don't apply to us, they don't comprehend it. But if they study the prophet and I say, well, listen, if the prophet had 30,000 Moors, if the prophet had 30,000 card-carrying Moorish Americans, and the treaty applied to us, why wouldn't the prophet use them 30,000 Moors? Why wouldn't the prophet use them 30,000 Moors and enforce this treaty to liberate us? 30,000. Do we even know what 30,000 unified Moors look like? Do we know what 30,000 unified Moors look like? Heck, we barely know what 100 unified Moors look like, so I'll answer it for you. No. All right? So this is the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is that 30,000 Moors was united. There wasn't 5 different grand bodies. There wasn't 5 different supreme grand sheiks. There wasn't this thing going on back in 1928 and 29. Yeah, there was division. Yeah, there was infiltration. But there was 30,000 Moors ready to move on the command or the voice of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And tell me why he did not use the treaty. Because it doesn't apply to us. It's insignificant to us. However, back to my point, if the Moors in the temple, if the sheiks in the temple, if the divine ministers in the temple was on the road, on the highways, in the byways, like Taj Tariq Bey was, then just maybe, the true Moorish Science Temple of America ideal would have life today. The true ideal of the Moorish Science Temple of America has been swept under the rug. And now this foreign doctrine, like a sea cannon bay, has got legs. But I guarantee you, a lot of stuff that he learned, he picked it up from R.V. Bey and Taj Tariq. And now it has legs. And it's running. Young guys like Dexter, who is a very intelligent young brother, has fallen for it hook, line, and sinker. And won't be happy until his world comes crashing down on him, and then we lose another bright young mind to a fantasy. We losing our people to fantasy. And so what we're going to do today, we're going to show you why this thing happens. We're going to show you why this thing happens. Absolutely, Brother Woods. And I believe we do got 30, we got more than 30,000 Moors today that understand some degree of Moorish science. But now, do we have 30,000 that understand Moorish science as taught by Prophet Noble Drew Ali? Now that's questionable. Now that's questionable. But I believe we got 30,000 Moorish American. Easy. But now, do they understand the teachings according to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali? I can tell you most people in the temple don't even understand the total teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali and on how to move on agenda planning and executing. I can tell you that right now. But however, at least we have brothers and sisters in the temple and they willing to learn so we can move in that direction. So with that, I want to rise and give praise to Allah, give honor to his prophet Noble Drew Ali, and I give honor to everything that pertains to Moorish. I give honor to everybody in the chat, and I give a special honor to my brother Ishmael Bey that is joining me today to lay it out on the line for one final time to show that the reason why this thing has got legs and it has grown because there's a dollar involved and a dollar is at stake. So here we go. Let me bring my brother into the conversation. My brother Ishmael Bey. Islam, my brother. Peace and love. How you doing, Ish?
Islam. Peace and love, brother. How you doing, brother Tariq?
Hey, brother, I'm doing well. I'm feeling real good. I just wanna for once to get to the point and wrap this up once and for all. And I'm gonna leave this topic alone. And only way I won't leave it alone is one of these Taj Tariqites challenge me. Because I'm always up for a challenge, but I'm up for the challenge for the information. But I want to wrap this up real good. I want to show where the money is exchanging. I want to flip the table over like our brother Issa did. And then we're going to go ahead and set it up the way that the prophet is supposed to, the way that the prophet instructed us to, and that is lead people to the truth and don't sell yourself out in the process. So, brother, talk to the people for a minute. How you feel, bro?
I'm doing well, brother Tariq. I want to thank you for inviting me to your forum of Moorish World TV. I want to thank your listening audience. And I agree with you, brother Tariq. I think you've been, I already know what your mission was as far as just allotting a certain amount of time on a certain topic and then going on to different things. You deal with a lot of different topics, brother. You've dealt with genetics, you've dealt with legal stuff, you've dealt with health, you've brought attorneys on, you've brought professors on, a lot of different people covering a lot of different aspects of Moorish history. And I know that this was just a phase of what you wanted to go through. But as soon as you start tapping just on something even lightly, they start hooping and hollering and howling like they're in pain and they can't control themselves. They come jumping in on the chat room and start trolling, start putting up videos and all of this other stuff. The moment you're not even talking about them specifically, but you know what? We got unlimited ammunition for all of y'all. So my point is this. We have a structure of how we're doing things. We really just want to move on and continue going on to what we're doing because our job is to service the people. We're not even giving light to the people who are yearning for the spotlight and the platform. I see many times your name get brought up in different videos and your images and stuff. You don't even address them until maybe 5 or 6 or 7 videos sometimes not at all. So it's not like you're out looking to give them a platform and a spotlight, but they're yearning for it. So what we're going to do is, again, this is a chapter we already wanted to close weeks and weeks ago.
Right.
But we're going to continue. We're going to continue to air you out, and you're going to get the point, and we're going to stomp you out until you do learn, because we're going to civilize you, and you're going to learn to keep your mouth shut and to allow us to do what we do, which is to service the people, spread our information, and to make sure that we're addressing the needs of Moorish people inside the temple and outside the temple. We come in peace, but we're built for war. You don't quite understand that. We told you that since day one. We're here to put Moors on a national platform. We're reaching out to all of the national people. We're going to Washington, D.C. We're going to California. We're going to New York. We're going to every single nook and cranny of this country to make sure that we are awakening Moorish Americans everywhere. We're on our job. We're doing our duty. Leave us alone to stay out of our way, or we're running through you and over you. That's the last warning that you're going to get. So we're going to address the last insignificant peons who've been opening up their mouth only because they kept yearning for the spotlight. So we're going to give you what you're asking for. What do you got to say, brother?
Indeed. Before I bring it over to my brother Ish, let me get right into it. The first thing I want people to know is that, again, I because this is going to be the last time I really touch on it and let somebody really put a real serious challenge out. First, I want people to know that search my videos out. I have never disrespected Taj Tariq Bey. I have never lied on the brother. And if you see or say that I have, I invite you to show me where, and maybe you just need to hear me to explain. So let me just run through briefly where my position was is and continue to be. One of my positions is that Taj Tariq Bey do not teach Moorish science, as taught by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Notice I didn't say he don't teach Moorish science, because I don't want you to give me that bogus argument that Moorish science was before Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I'm saying that he doesn't teach Moorish science according to how Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught it. That's all I'm saying. Now, if that gets you bent out of shape, then show me how he does. That's all you have to do. Now, and I've also said that he misquotes the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Case in point, right here. This is Taj Tariq words off of RB Bey. The Prophet said, if you don't do anything else, declare your nationality. Family, the Prophet never said that. He simply never said it. Never said it. And he used the term declare as a legal term when we know the Prophet said, Moors, proclaim your nationality. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. That's what the Prophet said. But in order to control the narrative, Taj Tariq says, the Prophet says, if you do nothing else, declare your nationality, which means to be clear yourself. Now, that means that he's interpreting what he has attributed to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, which the Prophet never said, which means to be clear yourself. It does not necessarily have anything to do with any paperwork, while proclaiming has all to do with paperwork. You see that? So he put proclaiming, what the Prophet used, in the term of that we have to file paperwork, when there is no indication that the Prophet ever, and I said ever, put the emphasis on filing anything when you proclaim your nationality. So this is where the Mickey in the drink comes. When one says declare nationality, which is his terminology, but then take the Prophet proclaim your nationality and said this is the part where you need to do paperwork when you proclaim. Because what is he doing? He's taking Act 6 of the divine constitution and bylaws and saying that with us, all members must proclaim their nationality. So in actuality, and I got to look at the camera and say that, in actuality, the brother is doing the bait and switch. Now, how can you get mad at me because I'm pointing out that the brother is doing the bait and switch? He's simply doing the bait and switch. And why? We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get in that in a minute. He's doing the bait and switch. The Prophet never said declare your nationality. And then he goes to the proclamation of your nationality and said it has everything to do with paperwork, when there is no indication that the Prophet taught in that manner. That's number one. I just want to point out a few things, Ish. Secondly, Brother Taj Tariq Bey says the Moors of the Round Table bases its origin and purpose. This is why I have set about the task of producing literature to subvert the subversives among us. It's not personal. It is for the nations in the Moorish National Divine Movement. Now, if Taj Tariq can challenge what he think is the subversives among us, why can't I challenge what I think is subversive among us? As he said, it's not personal. You follow me? If he has the ability to do that, then now I am doing exactly what he says he doing. How am I the bad guy?
I'll answer that for you. You have every right to. He's no better than you.
Yeah. How would I, you know what I mean? How do I become the guy that's the sellout, the guy that's the agent? He the one said that he creating literature to challenge the subversiveness among us. But whose subversive is he talking about? He's just talking about those who disagree with him. That's what he's talking about. Those who disagree with him. Let me get a few more in. Thank you, Brother Ish. Absolutely. Let me get a few more in. So he goes on. I'm just showing you that this was all about showing that this brother do not teach Moorish science, according to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Again, I got it highlighted. Declaring is absolutely necessary before any rituals of proclamation or publishing ought to be done. I suppose that's why Prophet said, if nothing else, declare your nationality. Again, family, no one can show me where the Prophet said that. No one, because he never said it. And I'm not talking about a third and fourth, fifth party. I'm not talking about that. Now, I wanted to point that out. Last thing I want to point out is this. When dealing with information of our brother Taj Tariq. And like I said, I'm not making this stuff up. I pulled this stuff right off of the website. Right off of RB Bay publication, where he says, or through his brother, what's the brother name? Sabir Bey, through his brother Sabir Bey, he says he has nothing to do with that. It's all Raz Bey. That's what they say. But let me read this to you, then I'll pass it to my brother Ish, and we'll talk about this brother that was on the show last week, Tex Mason, that was calling in passive-aggressive, playing some games as if he don't know the difference between a treaty for the country of the Morocco and a treaty for the Moorish Moroccan Empire. So listen to this carefully, family. Listen to this carefully, and then listen to the rationale. I have the ability to decipher this stuff, and you should too. This is question 6, and this comes off of RB Bay publications. Question: I was born in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I am currently an avid listener of Moors Heritage and History School on Harlem Rising Radio. I've only been made aware of Moors about 2 months ago, and I am amazed at the truth that is being disseminated. It was Brother Taj Tariq Bey and Brother Sabir Bey that led me to the truth about sovereignty and nationality. I was registered as a Metis with the Manitoba Metis Federation in a municipal district known as Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I could be saying it wrong, but hey, I'm not from Canada. But withdrew my status with them last week, finding out that being registered with the MMF as Metis would put me under corporate ward status. I want to become a part of the solution and really don't know where to go from here. As Taj is married to the cause, well, so am I. If there is any organization in Winnipeg that anybody know of that could get involved with it, it would be great to get the info. I just want to say thanks, Brother Taj and Brother Sabir, for opening my eyes to truth about sovereignty and nationality. Now, here is Taj Tariq Bey's answer. Manitoba Province, Territory, a political subdivision of Canada, is still, in fact, a northern part of the Moroccan Empire. Listen close, family. Land of the ancient Moabites and Moors. Thus, this is also Moorish land that was usurped by European Inquisition colonists. Being Moorish American, you refer to the writs of freedom for use, study, and application as placed on rbbaypublications.com website for all Moorish Americans. Read them and all clear up your concepts on identity, status, and gain concepts of basic protocols for protecting and standing for your substantive rights. Also see, acquire, and study the booklet entitled Confused About Taxes. Remember, the Aboriginal natural people are not to be taxed by foreigners. Study. Now check this out. Let's go to the first line. He says that the Manitoba Province Territory and the political subdivision of Canada is still, in fact, a northern part of the Moroccan Empire. Okay? The Prophet Noble Ali instructs us in Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. We're teaching that people that nationality and their Declaration creed, they may know that they are part and parcel of this said government. The question becomes, what said government is he talking about? Move on. And now, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaveholders in 1779 and lasted to 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is the part that kills that Taj Tariq teaching out of the water. But this is a new era of time now. And all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live. So the question is, what government do this person live in? To be recognized by the government in which they live in the nations of the earth. Again, if you must proclaim your free national name to be recognized by the government in which you live, what government do this person live in? Now, furthermore, when we start talking about the Moroccan Empire, the question becomes now, and I'm going to blow it up for people, and I'll pass it to my brother Ish right after this. The question now becomes, okay, if you want to proclaim the Moroccan Empire, now we need to know, where are the borders? Don't give me chapter 47. We need something concrete. Who is or where is the ruler, and where is the constitution of that territory? This was the reason why the Prophet Noble Ali states that this is a new era of time now. The empire era is over. This is a new era of time now. And now all men must claim their free national name. What is national? The United States of America territory, that's national. The Canadian territory, that's national. Mexico territory, that's national. Morocco, that's national. These are national constitutions. These are national countries with national constitutions. So when you claim a free national name, we know what a national is. It's one who is a citizen within the borders of a certain geographical location, i.e. country. So when you tell somebody that you are still, in fact, of the northern part of the Moroccan Empire, when we no longer live in an empire, we live in nation states. Why? This is the Moroccan Empire is not where we live at today. Sure, we understand that this was the territory of the Moors, that the Moroccan Empire extended from North-South Central America and all the adjoining islands. Of course, we understand that. But today, we live in a nation state. We live in a nation state. We don't live in an empire. There is no borders to circumference an empire. There is no king of a Moroccan empire. There is no sultan of a Moroccan empire. There is no president of a Moroccan empire. Moroccan empire do not exist today in the concrete brick and mortar fashion as other governments exist. It doesn't exist. So the prophet teaches us that this is a new era of time now. And now men must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which you live. What government do you live in? This is ABC science. This is ABC, and I'll go over it again at the end of the show. But brother Ish, last week we had a brother named Tex-Mex on the show, Tex Mason on the show. And what the brother was doing, he was trying to usurp the treaty presentation. As I say, we don't live in a Moroccan empire today. There is no ruler, there is no sultan, there is no king, there is no president. And so to try to use that treaty to superimpose it as it represents Moors within an empire doesn't make common sense. It doesn't make common sense. And I would love to see one of those Moors go to United Nations in New York City. I will go there with them and film it if they try to get some sort of reparation or relief using that treaty. I would love to go there with you. Anyway, but I asked the question, And I didn't even know this brother. I say, why is he so adamant on pushing this lie? Why? Before I could even come up with any research, I said he's a hustler. I said he's trying to hustle you. Now, my wisdom tell me that anybody that will stand on a lie this hard, they got to be cashing out. Now, if I was wrong, I would apologize later. But guess what? I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong. With that, I hand the floor to my brother Ishmael Bey. Are you there, brother?
I'm here, brother. And I was, there on the show. We had called in. I even invited the brother to have a discussion as men about his position. He refused to come on the show. He said, I will only talk to you on a telephone with no cameras, and I can only talk to you on a telephone. I refuse to come on the show to face off with you in the arena. That alone should be an indication of something, because men should be able to discuss something openly because the information is being put out here openly. Now, the day after your show, he then goes and puts up a video mischaracterizing the positions as well as your supporters, of which I'm one of your supporters. Gladly. You're my brother. Right. So no disrespect to him, no disrespect to anyone involved, but we're going to address the misinformation and how people's lives get turned upside down by the misinformation that's being put out there. So, an example of how this information goes on the backside, brother, I put a posting up of an example. It's just an example of a brother that was affected in 2017, which there have been other people who've been affected, not particularly by one individual, but by this body of knowledge and information for years now, in and out of prisons following this misinformation. So this is what we need to address. Do you have that link at all, brother?
I see Zachary something up here.
Right. And this is an example of what we're using. This is a good, listen to the brother, man. This is a brother that's from the state of New York. He's giving you his football profile in 2013. He's a young brother. And these are who we're fighting for. Just if you go down to the bottom of that page, brother, you'll read his personal statement. You see his personal statement on there, Brother Taharka? It
says, a few goals of mine would be, if blessed to do so, play football at the collegiate level, Division I or II, and most importantly, earn myself an education. Whether through my athletic, I guess he meant athletic ability or not, I do have plans of earning a bachelor degree with intentions on majoring in journalism. An aspiration of mine would be to possibly earn a living writing about what I love the most, athletics, and most importantly, football. Indeed.
And that's a story of what we go through, brother. We are all trying to live out our dreams and our aspirations and just try to find our way and find our path. And in doing that, this brother who had his dreams and his aspirations somewhere took a left to where now he gets arrested and sent to prison and facing time. The same individual. Where did he go left? Where did he get his, where did this happen at? These are tragic stories of what we're seeing with Corinne Gaines, a mother who was murdered and taken away from her children. Where are they going left at? So let's post up the video of the news of what happened to our brother who had dreams and aspirations of playing sports and going to college and wanting to provide for his family and build a foundation and a future for himself.
A new Subaru from Patriot Subaru. Any in-stock new Subaru. Up to $30,000 MSRP. Enter at Patriot Subaru. Enter at the Patriot Subaru website. Drawing on Valentine's Day.
He's behind bars after he tried to sell a business worth $1 million that wasn't his. Zachariah Latney was found guilty in Albany County Court today on 15 charges, including grand larceny, burglary, and falsifying records. Prosecutors say he illegally entered a building on Central Avenue in Colony and then tried to illegally sell it using fake documents. The property was valued at more than $1 million. He will be sentenced next. Well, okay.
So there we see the same brother. He tried to claim a property of $1 million, and we're going to see the reason and the source of how he turned left. I have posted up in there, listed from the Southern Poverty Law Firm. Let's see what the law firm, since these people are getting the advice about the law, let's see what the law firm has to say about how he ended up being sent to prison in the 2017 story. So this is February 2nd, 2017. I'm sorry, continue, brother.
February 2nd, 2017. And family, listen close. This is what this is all about. This is not all about fighting no brother. This is not all about just disagreeing. This is not all about being combative and being adverse to our Moorish brothers. This is about bringing forth truth that those that really seek a future in a productive, healthy life don't get caught up in this. Anti-government sovereign citizen attempting to fraudulently gain possession of abandoned houses is nothing new. But taking over a restaurant, well, that's new to the menu. Zachariah Latney. Now, remember, family, let's go back. This is the guy that say he has aspiration of being a journalist. He wanted to be a football player, but he would settle for being a journalist of in the field of what he loved most, which is sports, in particular football. Don't forget that part. Zachariah Latney, 22, did just that, claiming he owned a former Hibachi X restaurant in Colony, New York, near the state capitol, while admitting he never purchased the building. In 2015, police charged Latney with trespassing, but he returned to the restaurant again and was arrested again. Then, following the same bogus game plan used by most sovereign citizens and Moorish nationals, not Moorish Americans, Moorish not. This is another reason that we address this stuff. I don't mean to keep cutting off, because we need to separate ourselves from this madness that I would never demonstrate. Latney filed a blizzard of phony paperwork at the Albany County Clerk's office. He also tacked a notice on the abandoned restaurant, claiming he owned it, though, through adverse possession. Then he tried to sell the property he didn't own. That's when police stepped in, charging him with 21 criminal charges, including attempt grand larceny, burglary, possessing burglar tools, and conspiracy, tampering with public records, filing false deeds, falsifies a business record. His brother Dalen Latney and sister Kazia were also charged. Kazia was also charged. Their trials are pending. Zachariah Latney was convicted of 15 crimes last month by a jury in the Albany County courtroom. The Albany Times Union reported the jury acquitted him on 6 counts relating tampering with public records and false filings. He will be sentenced next month. While testifying in his own defense, Latney was asked by assistant prosecutor how he possibly could think he had legal interest in the building. Quote, "There are a number of ways legal interest may be acquired and derived from." He responded, "Any legal interest, that's a swooping term. I don't know how. I don't know he was able to, I don't know how he was able to apply that to my specific process." Despite acknowledging he was a follower of sovereign citizen ideology, Latney insisted he wasn't a part of the overall movement, whose adherents hold truly bizarre, complex anti-government beliefs. Latney also said he followed the advice of Tex Mason. Dum, 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 dum. Tex Mason, a self-proclaimed Moorish national and author of Home for Free, which instructs people on how to claim abandoned houses. The book sells for $450. So he paid himself into prison with $450 by following this guy.
So we're logged into THC Trust here. And I'm going to take you over here. Slide this over.
You see?
I'm not sure if you're going to do this.
So this guy sits in his living room.
To the secure party.
He sits in his living room.
You're going to click it. So
and sell people on the idea
these drop downs appear
that they can do adverse possession by purchasing this book. Look, 6,000 people viewed that since 2015. How many other people fell for the okie doke? Here we go again. Status matrix. Here we go. This is the same one that was on the show.
Peace, blessings, and greetings, everybody.
This is the same one that was on the show, passively, aggressively, saying, I don't know what I'm talking about. This is the same brother.
Say several months.
You see,
slow answering emails.
He's also have a page. He has, oh man, he got so much going on. He can discharge your debt.
So here's what I'm working
you see,
on, basically. You know,
this is why I said last week. Let me stop it's real quick. This is why I said last week. I said to the family last week, I said, look, you have to understand. I said, you have to understand that if this guy comes on the show and he's adamantly defending something ridiculous, I will guarantee you that he is cashing out. And I did not know. Trust me, I did not know. I did not know nothing about this brother. But this is a lesson. This is a lesson. This is a lesson that if people adamantly defend something ridiculous, you already know. And so, let me let my brother Ish. Brother Ish, man. Come on, brother.
Yes, sir. And I think we're on the same page with this, King, because, you know, there's a reason why the person wants to give one-sided videos the day after your show, but then refuse to face off for simple questions that we have. The brother said, sold the book for $450. $450, and the brother got sent to prison. And even with the information that the brother provides, he says that he can get you out of jail. I got on the backside a video on there where he says that he can get you out of prison. So why didn't he get the brother out of prison? God damn it.
Indeed.
He's listening to your, let me speak to the brother, man. Let me speak to the brother. Brother Tex Mason, listen to me, brother. He's listening to your advice. He's paid you $450. He has tried to obtain $1 million property. He's being castigated and media castrated all over the country in video, on news all over this country. He had dreams and aspirations. He believed in what you were teaching. He paid you money. You then put up videos saying that you can get the man out of jail, and the brother goes to jail, and you're nowhere to be found because you're trolling on Moorish World TV. So the question is, brother, since you put the video out of jail, and I'm not gonna say that your video is false, because we're gonna post the video up right now. You can get them out of jail. In fact, you said it doesn't matter how much time they get. Basically, if they get 30 days, if they get 6 months, if they get 30 years, you say in the video, no matter how much time they get, you can get them out of jail. Then why didn't you get them out of jail? Why aren't you getting all of the Moors out of jail if you got the magic ticket? If you're telling us also that the treaty is also another magic ticket. All of these Willy Wonka golden tickets running around, but you ain't using none of them to get nobody out. But that you got that $450. So let's just keep it 100, bro. Why don't you just stop going this route and making these videos like this and let us go on about our business? Because you're not built for this. And the whole problem is this. You're not even on our radar, bro. All we're trying to do is go and reach and teach our people. But you're saying that you have the solution to get all of our people out of jail. These are your words. You're the person who's selling these books for $100, $200, $300, $400 plus dollars. You're the person doing that, not us. We're the people who are trying to get the sisters' babies back when the system are taking their children from them. And then the Negroes are sitting here saying, why you got an attorney on here? We're trying to get the babies back with the mothers who've been ripped out. And we asked the sister, where did you get this information from? Your babies were taken from you in a courtroom. Where did you get this information from? And she told you where she got the information from. Get the babies back with the mothers. We're trying to get the brothers out of the system so they can be productive and be fathers and be husbands. This is what we're committed to doing. And y'all keep on standing in our way. Now, y'all got issues, man. But we're going to post up the video and let the people see what you made that claim about, brother. Since you wanted that spotlight and you made that claim that you can get people out of jail, we're going to see maybe about 2 minutes of what you have to say. And let's see if you can apply this information to get this brother out of prison who used your information.
Greetings.
So it was the
thctrust.org. That's T is in Tango, H is in Hotel, C is in Charlie, trust.org. In this session, which may end up to be about 2 or 3 sessions, we are going to reveal how you will get someone out of jail or get somebody out of prison. And it does not matter whether it's 10 years or 20 years, that's irrelevant. And this is not going to cost you a lot of money. So, you know, I'm dedicating this out to the Black man, and the Black woman, and the Black race. And I'm hoping that some active...
Bro, this brother could very well be an agent, brother. He can't call himself a Moorish Black race, and there ain't no such thing as no Black race. You know what I mean? I could see him saying Black man. I mean, I don't subscribe to that. But he didn't went as far as went to the Black race. Oh my goodness!
If people will get a hold of this video, this audio, and they will execute the blueprint that I'm laying out before you, so that we can go in here and get these Black men out of jail, and not just Black men, but I'm specifically talking to my own race. But rest assured, for everybody that's watching, this is just as much for you too, because the principles apply for everyone. I just have my mission, that I know what I'm required to do. And I know that this is the time right now for the bonds to be redeemed for the Jews that are in bondage. And that's the Black American that doesn't know his race. Anyway.
Brother, this is how you know he's fleecing the Moorish people. In one video, he's talking about he's a Moorish National. He got the Moorish flag there. And everything that he's saying doesn't even make sense in any conscious respect. Not in the Nation of Islam, not in Moorish Science, not in the Hebrew Israelite. And no, he all over the place.
There's a comment on that video about 10 comments down. If you just scroll down to the comments, there's one brother. You're gonna see one brother on there that says, man, I tried that stuff. That stuff don't be working. like he got caught up. Like there's one right there. What'd he say?
He says, I was locked up. I tried a lot of this ish. And I ain't talking about Ishmael Bay. It does not work, people.
Exactly. So I was saying, yo, brother. I was saying, yo.
This is the part where people fall victim. I love your explanations. I think you are correct, and that this info is true and correct. As for prison, on a side note, I was just released from prison. The key word is being released, not terminated. not exported, but released. Look how we play these games. Kind of like when you go fishing in a government regulated area where they catch and release. So you are not, because you cannot be caught again. Man, we have dumbed down ourselves, and I'll stop it right there. We have dumbed down ourselves to accept anything. We accept anything. And it's amazing how we fall for this foolishness.
And that's the
we fall for this
problem, Taharka.
Sinker.
We're looking for salvation. We're looking for freedom. We're looking for peace. We're looking for that. And people are capitalizing and exploiting our aspirations for freedom. They're selling, they're making money off of it.
And this brother will call himself a Moorish National. Like, I could even see if the brother was in the Nation of Islam and he say, I'm helping the black man. But this brother say, I'm helping the black man. I'm helping the black race. You know what I mean? In the Nation of Islam, we the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he described the black man as the Asiatic black man. This brother that went on to call it the black race, the black kryptonite, the black this brother went crazy. But he called himself a Moorish National. And this is what I mean with this Moorish science, people cashing in. When people see that a sucker is born every day, guess what? One of them suckers is going to step out because most likely he fell for the okie doke. Most likely he fell for the okie doke. And he said, wow, this stuff works. And he took it a step further. And that's how Marrakush gets started. The Marrakush brothers. That's how they get started. They fall for the okie doke. You can see them in the pictures with Taj Tariq back in the day. And they say, man, wow, this stuff do work. They're not talking about it work for liberation. It works to liberate you going to get a job.
I would say that when I was listening to the brother Tex Mason, when he was discussing it, I assumed that he was saying that since he's a Moor, the people that he's trying to reach are black people. So his message is trying to get black people out of the condition that they're in. That's the way that I took it. As far as the people that we're trying to reach are black people to who they are. However, his methodology is totally twisted and is totally exploitive because that is not a solution to get people out of prison, because we just proved that a person who listened and bought his $450 book went into prison. And instead of him keeping it,
he says, so you claim to be Moorish, but don't mean you're about unity. So what's the problem, agent? Let me explain something to you, Ra. Unity doesn't mean that I'm going to agree with somebody who is getting people indicted. Unity doesn't mean that I'm going to let it fly by me that you saying you represent the Prophet Noble Drew Ali when you are misrepresenting the Prophet Noble Drew Ali to cash out. You know, so you call me what you want, brother. I just hope you call me that when you see me. But if you do, I'm gonna tell you, go ahead and start swinging off the break. Don't just come and call me something disrespectful. Go ahead and call me off the break.
And it's very simple. It's very simple. As Moors, there's a code that you live by. It's not just a proclamation. It's not just a greeting. It's not just a slogan. It's love, it's truth. Those are two important pillars of what you're standing on. You're supposed to love the truth. You're not supposed to love a lie. You're not supposed to ignore the truth. You're supposed to love the truth. Love, truth, peace. This is an order. This is a command. This is what you do as a sister who's a Moor, that's a brother that's a Moor. You stand upon the truth. And if you see that your babies are going to prison, that is a brother who's 22 years old. He's my baby. And our job is to make sure that they get fed information because we love the truth and we want the truth to go to the people.
And brother,
it's very simple.
My thing is this, brother. If any of these brothers have children, and in the words of our brother Isa, he said, we're speaking of Jesus, he said, children are of the kingdom of heaven. If any of these brothers or sisters have children, do we send our children out to fight this sort of fight? This is not what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali meant. This is not what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali meant. We go out and do adverse possession and end up with 15 years in prison? That we go out and with a right to travel and get busted in our head? This is not what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught. This is not what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali stands for. So the thing is, in a nutshell, that what this is cleaning house. You don't have to like it. You're going to take this medicine. You can wiggle all you want. You can wiggle all you want. You can get mad all you want. You're going to take this medicine. Brother, let me move to the next segment real quick-ish. I want to slide on to talking about my brother, because people was asking me, they said, well, brother, you say that the treaty is a scam. And they say, well, you didn't say how it's a scam. So when we're talking about a scam, we're talking about something that is in place to get your money out of your pocket or to gain trust so you can be taken advantage of. This is a scam. I'm going to say it again. In order for something to be a scam, one would have to gain your trust to get your money out of your pocket or gain your trust to use you against yourself for their benefit. You follow me, Ish? This is what a scam is. This is what a scam is. And
yes,
so,
sir. I'm with you. Yes, sir.
So when I'm talking about Taj Tariq Bey and I'm talking about a scam, let's start with this. In order for those to be convinced about the teachings that Taj Tariq Bey teaches, for one, he has to use some of the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaches us that man is truth and falsehood strangely mixed. Strangely mixed. So you can't teach a total falsified doctrine. You got to mix some truth with it, because the truth is going to grab the people and the falsehood will take them away. Y'all follow me? The truth will grab you, but the falsehood will take you away. So that's why people continue to invoke more, to continue to invoke Prophet Noble Drew Ali. They invoke things like, we are in Al-Marak. Of course, this was the land of the Moors at one time. We have been conquered, people. We will be unconquered if we follow the script of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We can unconquer ourselves. But we have been conquered. This was the land of the Moors. So they say this was Al-Marak, which was the Moroccan Empire. You know, they have divided it up now. You know what I'm saying? So is the treaty itself a scam? So the person say, is the treaty itself a scam? No, the treaty itself is not the scam, but the claiming that it's applicable to us is a scam. Meaning that the treaty is legitimate. It's the longest never broken treaty, but it cannot enforce, you cannot enforce it against a group of people and receive any benefits. That's the scam. You won't be able to enforce a national treaty by the government of Morocco and receive benefits here in the United States for yourself. You have never been a citizen of Morocco. So it doesn't apply to you. But so this is the scam part. The scam part is convincing you that I have a valid point and that my point is going to touch your emotions because you have been enslaved, you have been subjugated, you have been demoralized, you have been beat down. And now I am going to draw you into believing in what I'm saying about they have conquered and occupied your land. They are occupiers. They are colonists. But this is still the Moroccan Empire.
And I think there's a disconnect of them not understanding the examples, the clear examples of what you're using when you make those statements, Brother Taharka. The example is a very good example of what you use, and we can expound on that just to bang home that point. Moroccan treaty and its application. The Moroccan treaty is going to be no different than we are a vast mixed of people here in America. So if Shaquille O'Neal has the last name O'Neal, perhaps there's some Irish in his family somewhere. He cannot then go and use the Irish Constitution and the Irish treaty to protect him because he's an O'Neal or a McNabb or anyone else. Just because you have this in your lineage does not mean that it politically covers you. You can have in your DNA, we've had Dr. Rick Kittles explain this on this show. If you have Cherokee in your family, Creek, whatever Indian, that does not mean that you are now protected by the treaties of the Cherokee. You can go get your casino check. No, these are political and these are statehood statuses by the citizens of those particular tribes. They're citizens of that tribe covered by the tribal membership. No different than the lineage of us being the original people and being the mother and father of civilization. You can't then just go and select, I got a little bit of Moroccan in me. Now all of a sudden I'm under the Moroccan treaty and that now covers me. No, they're selling you a lie. And you're being sent to prison rooted in a lie. That is not what Moors are supposed to represent. We are supposed to represent truth. So that's where they're missing the disconnect, brother.
Exactly. And so now let's follow the money real quick, family. I want everybody to thumbs up. I want everybody that if you're able, I'm still promoting the Moorish Village. So I'll put the link in there if anybody want to support the building of the Moorish Village. I haven't been promoting it lately because I got some things going on behind the scenes. But the Moorish Village is a community that we're going to be building in Baltimore, coming hopefully mid-spring, beginning summer. And I would hope that everybody would support it. The link is there. If anybody want to donate $5 or $10, we appreciate it. But nevertheless, if you don't, no matter, we still going to get it done. It's going to happen. But we would want you to donate. That way we can all build this together. And when you come to Baltimore, you won't have to go to the Radisson, or you won't have to go to, I know Ish can get you a nice deal down there at the Horseshoe, but you might want to be in the Village at the bed and breakfast. I don't know. Ish going to be at the bed and breakfast at the Moorish Village.
That is correct.
and although he's a mover and shaker down at them spots, the Unicorn and the Horseshoe and all them people, they don't know what I'm talking about, Ish. It's not. So look, fam, let's get straight to it. Let's follow the money. As I said, let's follow the money. Now, people probably say to me, well, Brother Tariq, how is Taj making money? Because all he does is do a lecture and he only charge $20. Let's start with these cards right here. First of all, I am going to use one example. And the example that I'm going to use is not necessarily the measuring stick of the numbers that are factual. I'm taking a stab at the concept of the money that could be made from this. All right? So if you go to RV Bay and you want a nationality card, they're $50. If you want to write the travel card, they're $50. If you want a student ID, they're $50. Mind you, you won't be walking in any halls. The only student ID that you will be of is of a website. As they say, RB Bay is just a website. It's a publication website. So I don't know what school you be a part of, but I guess they do the history of school and law. Oh, Moorish Heritage and History School. But it's online, so it's kind of like that online school that the Europeans have, I would imagine. I guess that's fine. Anyway, bottom line, if you do all three cards, it's $130. So what I did was I went to a Facebook group. Shout out to Moorish Law. I appreciate them. They allow me to post my videos. They haven't blocked me yet, and I know many of them disagree with me and some of the things that I bring to the table. However, I got the brother Mario El Bay, who always so flagrantly comes against me with his videos that so matter-of-factly makes sense to him and all the Taj Tariqites. However, so I went to Moorish Law, which is a popular group as it relates to a lot of the sciences that is espoused by Taj Tariq. So I looked at this number of how many members. Now I went to other groups too, which had larger numbers. Some had smaller numbers. So this was like a medium type number. So I looked at this group with 12,703 members. I also tried to go to Taj's page and see how many friends he had, and I was going to do a number like that. So what I said, okay, if we got 12,000 members of this group, and this is a type of law, Moorish law group, and most people agree with the Taj Tariq. If I'm wrong, I can be corrected, but I've scanned the page. I trolled it too. I admit I trolled it. And I come to see that most of them agree with Taj Tariq. Well, a lot of them do. A lot of them are behind the scenes coming on home to the Prophet Noble Dry League. Bottom line is, I say, you know what? Let's cut this in half. Let's take this number and cut it in half to 6,000. And so I looked at these IDs. This is the right to travel ID. So let's go on down here. This right here is the Moorish National Identification Card that you can buy from RB Bay. Now, it's kind of blurry because the way that I got it was from a presentation that a brother was presenting. Now, this brother that was presenting, he's all right with me. His name is Mike. He's all right with me. Matter of fact, it's the brother in this ID right here. But he did a presentation. It's public information, and I'm going to use it to teach you. So now, what he did was this. He says that you fill this out. And now when you fill this out, you send this to the P.O. Box. Matter of fact, this P.O. Box here that you send this to is to New Jersey. Now, let me explain to you. Matter of fact, let me see if I got the video. Let me see if I got the video. Let's see the video. Here we go.
As you see, you got national ID card, the road travel card, student ID card, and all three cards will be $130. For each one would be $50. For all three together would be $130. Me, personally, you do not need to get the road travel card or student ID card if you're not participating to go to school. But the reason I find a good thing to get the road travel card is because what you can do with the car have the supreme laws and land of your right to travel the car. So if you get stopped by the police, you have the actual supreme laws on the car and, to the policeman right there. So if they're trying to hinder you from any reason and deny your right of travel, and you get to present it to them and read it right then and there. So that's why I would advise you, if you do not know the law.
Okay, so in this video,
and you mail this form and with your photo, with your proclamation papers to be sealed to the Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs.
Hold up.
Number 1145 Hartford, Connecticut.
Hold, stop right there.
You mail this form and
listen what he said.
Number 1145 Hartford, Connecticut.
Now, I just told you, listen, I'm going to break it down. Now, I just told you that the other form, this form you mail to New Jersey. Why do you mail this one to New Jersey? Because Roz get the money for the IDs. That's her cut. Okay? Now, the other form, what he was talking about right here, this is what you fill out for your nationality, to declare your nationality. This one you send to 141 Western Street, 1145 Hartford, Connecticut. Why do you send it to Hartford, Connecticut? Because this is the Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs. This is where Taj get his cut. Cut of what, you say? Let me see if anybody got any questions before I drop this bomb. You might say, cut of what? Cut of what? Funk Boogie already did the math. Funk Boogie already did the math. You feel me?
Yep, sure did.
Funk Boogie already did the math. But now check it out, Funk Boogie. Let me show you how to. Now that's Ra's cut. Let me show you how Taj get his cut, which y'all are unaware of and think he's innocently just running around, teaching for $20 a pop. This one goes to Hartford, Connecticut. To prove that, Here's my guy again.
And you mail this form and with your photo, with your proclamation papers to be sealed to the Great Seal, National Association of Moorish Affairs, 141, number 1145, Hartford, Connecticut.
You got me? So one is going to New Jersey, the ID. To proclaim the nationality is going to Hartford, Connecticut. Again, you say, how do Taj eat? How does this work? Okay, let's do it. When you fill out this paper here, you do not only send it to Hartford, Connecticut, you also send it to the United States District Court, the United States Department of Treasury, the United States Department, the United States Attorney General, the Department of State, Secretary of State, the Department of Interior, Homeland Security, United Nations, Geneva, Switzerland, and the Provost, the Marshal. Now, family, I'm going to look you in your face now. Family, this is where the term paper terrorist came from. Right here. This is one, I ain't going to say it was sold, the result of this, but this was a part of the paper terrorist movement. This was part of the paper terrorist movement. Family, why would you send something to Homeland Security? Why you want to put Homeland Security on your heels? Why are you so foolish to believe that Homeland Security care about you proclaiming your nationality? Is somebody trying to put you into slavery and you think they're freeing you? You can't find no way in the world in the prophet's teaching where the prophet Noble Drew Ali. Brother, he don't do that much no more, brother. Brother, that was in the 90s and the early 2000s. He doesn't do that much anymore, Funk Boogie. He doesn't do it much anymore, Funk Boogie. Do a check. I know people that know people. He don't make cabinets like he used to, brother. The brother, you have to remember, the brother is 70-some years old now. He doesn't make cabinets like he used to, brother.
That's in the question. There was a question mark on there. He didn't know.
Oh, I'm sorry, Funk Boogie. Nah. He don't do that no more. He don't do that no more. More than the people who watch it. Show me one place where the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was sending out notices to whoever and everybody that he was a Moorish American. Now, this is the issue. Each one of these letters that you send, this is where Taj make his money. It costs $30 for a seal. Let me show you what a seal actually may look like. Maybe I can find one real quick. For a seal to put it on it. A seal is a stamp, basically, for those who are unaware. Now, this is 8, but let me jump the number up. Now, we're going to keep it right there just to keep it fair, because I'm not sure if you need a seal to send to him. But when you send him this, with which Mike Hitchman didn't mention, with your $240 for your 8 seals, you put your seals on these letters and you send them to these people. That's $240. Now, here we go. Take the $240 or $270, 40, and I added 70 just in case it was one more, but it doesn't even make a difference. Take that times 6,000. Just imagine, take that. Now, that's a big number. And you might say, no, you're stretching it. Family, This is not hard this is not hard, far-fetched. We're in the age of technology. The Moorish law got 12,000 members, and that's a small number. I just cut it in half. Taj has been doing this for who knows how long. Family, do the math. Why would he stop now? Do the math. This is if 6,000 people would buy them seals to put on this paper to send to these people, which I'm telling you, Moors and Moorish Nationals that can hear my voice, you know you was one that bought one. You know you was one that bought one. You know you was. You know you were one that bought one. Now, this is where the scam lies. That's just 6,000 people. But we're talking this lesson has been taught for 20 years. He ain't making no cabinets, family. This is why it must go on. This is why he won't have a conversation with me. This is why Sabir won't have a conversation. Because all of that goes out the window. So if you want to know where the scam is, I just showed you. The scam is in the seals. In the seals that you don't see on RV Bay. You only get to know about the seals if you get the email. Each one of these, the United States takes a $30 seal. The United States Department of Treasury takes the $30 seal. The Attorney General, a $30 seal. The Secretary of State, a $30 seal. The Department of Interior, a $30 seal. Homeland Security, a $30 seal. United Nations in Switzerland, a $30 seal. And the Marshal, a $30 seal. And as I say, this is a perfect way to get on the paper terrorist list. And I am the sellout. I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. I'm not trying to get you on no terrorist list. Heck, I'm trying to get you off of it. Why would somebody instruct me to send something to Homeland Security? Knowing
I have no idea. If you're asking us to come up with that, it makes no reason to be contacting Homeland Security and identifying yourself to Homeland Security. That's a federal agency that you don't want no parts of. That don't even make no sense.
Bro, he said, just have to make copies. Brother, you buy the seals. You make copies of the papers, not the seal. And then the brother say plus 25. 130 plus 25. Anybody that has subscribed to this know I'm not lying. They know I'm not lying. Now, one may say, why are you counting Taj money? Perfect question. Why has he been counting the Moorish Science Temple of America, asking about some school bus, asking about some building? Let me tell you, the Moorish Science Temple of America has taken a hard hit since the passing of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. The Moorish Science Temple of America has really been trying to pull itself together since the transition of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Oh, we here now. But up until now, it's been an uphill battle. It's been splits, it's been integration, it's been manipulation, it's been sabotage, it's been everything that you can name. Infiltration, everything that you can name. So that's the reason. Hey, brother Azad Bey, man, let me tell you something. I'm not worried about that, brother. You know me, I'm going to spit this truth whether you like it or not. My math could be off, but it ain't off that bad. I don't know what part I'm off, brother. You want the link? You want to fix it? You want to fix it? You want to fix it? But my math ain't off on that bad, brothers. So, brothers and sisters.
So, and the invitation goes out, you know, for like I said, this series is a part of the chapter that's closing, but the series can be extended if you if they wish to come onto the show in order to dialogue as men. Again, there's been no disrespectful, no cussing, no nothing. Dealing with the information, we're on standby and we're here because we're not going to allow that type of stuff to run rampant and to be destroying people's lives. It's not going to go unchecked and unaddressed.
Listen, and to carry that message, what my brother is just saying, to carry it extra mile, if I will. We invite anybody and everybody to come on here to have a conversation, not a name calling, not a shouting match. I will be quiet. If you can prove my math wrong, I will accept it. I will accept it. But I tell you what, I ain't off that much. I'm not off that much. And anybody that subscribed to this, no, I'm not off that much. Now what I need to know is, in closing, if Taj Tariq Bey, if Cujo, if Rami Salam El, if all of these Moors that believe in this doctrine, now I have one question. Why haven't they organized all these people that show up to their events and approach the colonists face to face? Why haven't they organized and presented the treaty, presented the right to travel, presented that these Europeans don't have nothing to stand on as it relates to the law, standing on the law, as it relates to the delegation of authority? Why haven't they organized thousands of people that subscribe to them and move as one body? Why am I telling a 22-year-old to send something to Homeland Security? Why am I telling a 22-year-old to get a house without paying a dime? Why haven't they organized? The Prophet Noble Drew Ali said it best. If you're not careful, your own people will put you in slavery. Why haven't they organized? Brother, Assad Bey, you can say I'm creating false narratives. I'm asking a simple question. Why haven't the thousands that subscribe to the Taj Tariq teaching, why haven't they organized? Guess why? Prophet Noble Drew Ali organized. I can show you where he organized and put Moors in the numbers in a block vote to put politicians in office in support of the Moorish Science Temple of Americas and the Moorish paradigm. I can show how the Prophet used the numbers. Why haven't Taj organized? Guess why? Because there is no remedy in what he teaches. And that's the closing of the show. There is no remedy in what he teaches. And that's why he sends you out there willy-nilly by yourself. And when you get caught up, you by yourself. And no nation moves as an individual. So you can talk that nation stuff all you want. But as long as each person that subscribes to Taj moves as an individual. I don't care about your law classes, your history classes, and whatever civics you talk about, because there is not a nation on the planet Earth, that moves one person at a time.
And that's exactly how the system views them, Brother Taharka. They view them as lone wolves.
That's
and they
right.
see these little lone factions, these little splinter groups, these individuals coming up into these courtrooms solo. They're being left alone because as soon as they catch the charges, ain't nobody going and try to get them out, even though they put out videos saying they can get them out. They're not doing it. So these lone wolves are being captured and led to slaughter, sheep to slaughter one by one by one, all because they're not moving as a united body because they don't have a united doctrine. But my only point before I depart is this, Brother Taharka. Too many times, it's you by yourself or a select few brothers or sisters who are rolling with you being the voice for defending the Moorish Science Temple. I don't know what's making those, I'm not going to say in the temple, but those who know the truth. I don't understand why they're being such punks and why they will not support you properly in defending the truth. However, that's the reason why we're in this predicament that we're in right now. It's because of silence. Silence is an endorsement. If you are silent, you're endorsing misbehavior, and these people are running amok in the name of the prophet and in the name of Moorish Americans. And it's all because y'all being too cowardice and not opening up your mouth. He's not doing these shows on a Friday. In fact, he's doing the Moorish Temple on Friday, the online Moorish Temple on Friday. So he's observing the holy day. He's putting all this information on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Mondays on days that you're available, you're at home, you're even watching this right now, and you're too damn punctified to open up your mouth and simply defend your own prophet. If you're a female who's sleeping with a punk ass man, don't give him none, because he ain't worthy of your precious wound. He's too punctified to even be up in you right now. We're trying to defend the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and these people who are coming in the name, whether they know it or they don't know it. Maybe they simply don't know it. But when the truth has been presented, you're supposed to acknowledge the truth. And it's back and forth of only one or two people defending a bunch of cowards. Those days are coming to an end soon too, because you were silent for 10, 20, and 30 years while these people have been doing this mess, and you're being punks right now. So we're trying to say is, look, lock arms with us, come on the show, and let your voice be heard, because Brother Taharka Bey is on the front line. He's not just talking about it. He is in all of these cities, and we love him, and we're here to support him, but we need for all of the Moors to step up. So it's not just coming from one or two or 10 voices. Make sure you let yourself be known. We want all the Moors to know that we do love you, but we need for you to step up. And now is the season for you to step up and to defend the prophet and the Moorish Science Temple of America. Thank you.
And I like to say this in conjunction with Ish. And I'm gonna run this real quick back to you one more time. But I like to say this in conjunction with Ish. I'm gonna tell y'all, don't think I ain't see all the slick talk, all the tough talk. And every time somebody say that, matter of fact, I could show you a text from my mufti. And I'm just telling you what it is. First thing he said to me, brother, why you still move by yourself? I said, brother, you know how I get down. So I say all that to say, family, I'm for peace if possible, violence if necessary. I'd rather deal with the information. So I would ask that you bring information. I definitely, hold up, my brother said, that's crazy. You don't, your viewers to get the, oh, whatever. I would rather deal with the information, and I would invite anybody on here with information. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can come on this show. Anybody can come on this show and dispute anything I have to say. I don't think an agent would let you do that. I don't think one who's just trying to control the narrative will let somebody come with an opposing view to squash what I'm trying to bring to the table. For example, the brother Tex Mason said he's not coming on the show. Why? Because he knows the end result of coming on the show. Because he knows result, brother. And if I blocked you, it's because you're cursing. It's because you're calling names. And it's because you're bringing no significant resolve to the conversation. That's why I'll block you. If you get on, oh, you an agent, man, I don't want to hear that. Click. Oh, man, you a punk. I don't want to hear that. Click. I will block you. If you're not bringing significant remedy or information to counterbalance the information that I'm bringing, I'm going to block you. It's my platform. Matter of fact, this is the conscious Moorish American platform. This is the brother who calls himself a black man platform. This is the Hebrew Israelite platform. This is the people's platform. This is the people platform. So if you come crazy, Assad Bey, you can email me and you can come on the show with your argument. There you go. We can keep the ball rolling. TaharkaBey@yahoo.com. And we can keep the conversation going maybe on a Tuesday. So I just want to review this real quick, family. Real quick. What I want to review is what I just said. Family, if there was 6,000, there's 12,000 members in Moorish law, which is predominantly supporters of Taj Tariq group. They're good people though. Whoever owned that page, I'm telling you, I support whoever owned this page because he never blocked my stuff. He lets it goes up, or she lets it goes up, and I gotta honor somebody for that probably disagree with me most of the time. Anyway, the average trip to RV Bay will cost $393 per person. That would include your IDs and your seals for these letters that need to be sent at all of these places per person. So let's just do the math one more time. Let's do the grand total number. $393 a person. My math could be a little off, but let's just do it anyway. I could be off. Go back and do your own numbers. So let's go to 3. Hold up. Matter of fact, we're going to say that they got 3. Hold on one second. I got somebody calling. I can unlock the screen. Hold on, fam. My tablet ain't acting right. I must got too many fingerprints on it or something. Let me see something. Hold up. Hold up, family. Maybe somebody got something important to say. Let's see. Oh, you might call back. So let's say you go get the 3 IDs. That's $130. And then you get the 8 seals. That's $270. Hold on. Oh, my bad. $130 for your IDs plus the $270. Okay? That equals $400. Why did I get $393? I don't know. Well, we back on track. Let's do it again. Make sure. Clear. The brother did say my math was off. That's why I'm doing it again. $130 for 3 IDs plus $270 for the seals to send all them letters out, because you got to send them out to these 8 places. Okay? Why did I have $270? Let me make sure. I got 270 because I put an extra one in there that you might have to send somewhere else. But no, let's go back. We got to have it right. We got to have it right. We got to have it right. Let's go. 130 plus 240 equals 370. Okay, we're going to stick with that number. Let's times it, half of the number of the members in the group called Moorish Law. That's $2,220,000. Now, you might think that that's a lot of money. But for an individual buying these seals and he think that his salvation lies in those seals, that's not a lot of money. For the individual, you follow me? For the individual, he's trying to purchase some freedom. But imagine 6,000 people. Imagine that. Family, we have to wake up. And we got to wake up fast, you know, because Prophet Noble Drew Ali gave us the remedy, and this wasn't it. This was not it. So I'm going to try to call this number. Who am I speaking with, family? Hold up, family. Let me put you up so the family can hear you, brother. You know the rules, brother. You gotta be respectful. How you doing, my brother? I appreciate you, family.
I'm unbelievable. There's never gonna be any disrespect.
I say that more. You know, let me tell you why I say that, brother. Because when somebody call in behind you, they need to know that I said it before you. So when I click them, they already know that I said it. It's love. It's love. What you got to add to the conversation, family?
This is a question I have more because, you know, although there are ones who are definitely teaching something that's foreign to what Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought and came, my question is this, because the Prophet says that the Constitution is one of the greatest documents ever written.
Right.
It's a law document.
Right.
And then he also, in the Quran, it says, you know, where it says, it's not in the Quran, it says, you know, go to those who know law and ask them in an intelligent tone.
Yeah.
Now, if we're supposed to go to these people who know law and ask them in an intelligent tone, and they will render you a favorable response, but it also says in the Quran that man knows not by being told. So if I go and ask somebody who knows the law in an intelligent tone and they tell me something, I can't take their word for what they told me. I actually have to study the law or whatever it is they told me about the law.
I agree.
So I'm a little confused, you know, because the thing is that a lot of these practices, these brothers, and I'm telling you firsthand, because when I came into Moorish Science, all I knew was that sovereignty conversation, and then I got straightened out, you know, because I spent a lot of time in jail messing around with that foolishness, you know. So I understand that, but I'm of the mind that the law definitely has its place in regard, because if you ask me, it's an extension of Moorish Science, and if you come into Moorish Science and gain the proper foundation, naturally you're going to go and have to deal with matters of the law, because the Moorish Science Temple is a national movement. And in the conversation of nationalism, there are a lot of topics that are going to deal with the law, is what I'm saying. So, you know, although I think a lot of these brothers do it half-cocked and they're not properly orientated, I think that there is a conversation that needs to be had in regards to Moors and lawful issues.
Right. But let me add this to that. I tell people in my temple, and I say it online a lot, that Prophet Noble Drew Ali, his example was his prophecy. He did not say that in the sky you're going to see rainbows and that's going to mean this. He did not do that. And so I've always asked myself, what is Prophet Noble Drew Ali prophecy? And I've come to see that when the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, today, on this day, I declare you a nation or make you a nation. And he wrapped that American flag around that little boy and wrapped that Moorish flag around that little girl at the first annual convention. That was a sign to me as, and this is just my interpretation, that as Muhammad said, today I have perfected your religion. Now, from that time back to the time that the movement became a religious organization, went from a civic to a religious organization, that time period, we would have to examine what the prophet did, lawfully, legally, or whatever we choose to call it. We have to examine what he did, duplicate that, and we will receive the rewards or the liberation that comes with that. You follow what I'm saying? The thing is most people don't know exactly what the prophet did, how he moved, how his footsteps moved throughout the diaspora of the Moorish world to bring forth our liberation. And so we make up stuff. That's the problem. People don't know how the prophet moved. Because if we did, we would move just like him and we'll be fine. You feel me?
You know, and to add on to what you're saying, because I read a lot of Dr. Francis, you know, on the back of our questionnaire, it says see Heard's revised statutes. And when you go look at Heard's revised statutes, which is Illinois Code 805, something to that effect, you're talking about a legal and lawful document on how religious corporation works.
But
so that suggests to me is that you're going to have to know some things in regards to law. And when you actually read that, you know, I can see how it's very easily misinterpreted where brothers and sisters go to try to take stuff. Because if you read in that document, it says, you know, you can go get what you need to do what you need to take care of this organization that you're a part of.
But family, the balance of that is this. The balance of that is this. You have to be a trustee of the organization. It's not willy-nilly for anybody to go and try to use the description describes in Heard provides statute and try to willy-nilly and go make things happen. You have to be a part of the organization to be a trustee thereof.
I agree with you. I agree with
so the problem is people reading Heard's provide statute and they trying to go exact some law when it doesn't even pertain to them because they're not a card-carrying member of the body politic or the society that Heard's provide statute speaks to.
I agree. I agree with you. We're not in disagreement there.
Absolutely.
There's no disagreement. I just wanted to say that because, and I wanted to say that little piece because, you know, I find that a lot of times, you know, that it's like we act as if that the law doesn't need to be studied in Moorish Science.
No, the law definitely have to be studied.
But I agree with you, like you say, that a lot of these cats are not in it. They're standing on the sideline, and they're speaking as if they're members, and they're quick to say, "I'm not a temple Moor." There is no other type of Moor.
Yeah, more.
In this thing.
More.
In the way of this thing.
Like the thing is this: when somebody goes willy-nilly with law and say this is civics, who are they answering to? What are their checks and balances? This is why the prophet say this organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, meaning that this organization have checks and balances. Like you got
to be a member of this organization, and I'll say that to the listeners, brothers and sisters, man. Come
Ali Bey in the building. Hold up. I want to give a shout out to my brother Ali Bey. We bumped some heads months ago. I was extremely mad at him. I wanted to pull his arm, leg, arm, head off a few months ago. But I love the brother. Glad to see him in the building. I unblocked him. I unblocked everybody early on this year because I want to see him back in the building. I want to see that we grow with this information and that everybody contribute the parts that we need to contribute. Shout out to my brother Lord Abba. We've been speaking off and on moving forward. Man, shout out to Grimion L. Shout out to all the Moors who think their conditions can be better at doing that part to make it happen. But brother, back to you. My fault. I just seen my brother in the chat.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No, like you say, the biggest thing and the biggest flaw, and I'll say this to, all of these brothers who like to quote the new Moors are gonna come sit the old Moors. Listen, man, you got to come into the temple and you got to take on these degrees, but you got to sit at the feet of somebody who knows. And if you don't, most Negroes don't have that type of patience or discipline.
Yeah, there you go.
That's just what the Negro programming is. There's no patience. There's no discipline. There's tons of inconstancy and so forth and so on. So you got to properly lay the foundation so you can build yourself up. You can't come into the school and go to the highest grade in the school. You got to start at grade 1. And a lot of y'all don't want to do that. And it's really a character thing, because the prophets say, a majority of our problems are economic. And in a more profound sense, the spirit. Your spirit ain't right. You got to fix your spirit. You got to tear all of that nonsense down and then come back properly. And y'all don't want to do that. That's why y'all get hit over the head.
Hey, brother, it's like this. Like
I'm gonna disagree with that point, but I'm gonna let y'all rock out on that.
I was gonna say this. I'm gonna let you go, Ish. I was gonna say this to my brother. Brother, it's just like you and I having a conversation right now, and we might don't agree on every point. You know what I'm saying? But you and I both know that the prophet created the Moorish Science Temple of America. You and I both know that under the umbrella of the prophet of the Moorish Science Temple of America, we have certain protections. Because not saying that the Moorish Science Temple of America is some orange shield that protects us from something, although it could be. But you and I are going to strive to be the best that we can within the confines or the structure of the Moorish Science Temple of America, idealistically. So that means I'm not going to cuss you out because we disagree. I'm not going to disrespect you or your family because we disagree.
I can't act like that. Islam, I got to keep my passions in the bounds of righteousness. Islam, I can't fly off the handle. I can't. That's just outside of that puts me outside of what I profess to be a part of. Islam,
my brother. I appreciate you. A matter of fact, stay on because Ish say disagree with something, and I'd like to give my brother Ish the floor before you go, because you might want to respond. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, I just want to make it clear that there's an entire nation of Moors out here that that understand protocol, that understand discipline. You hear it from brother generals like Khalid Muhammad. You see it in other examples. I know plenty of Moors. They're not built for the temple because the character of some of the people that dwell in temples, they'll get feasted on. So for you to sit there and say, to sit at the feet of another man, dog, the thing is, there's not a problem with the discipline side of things or understanding how the inside of the temple works. But because of the temple politics, it's actually suffocated and retarded the growth of Moorish Americans here in this land. The temple politics have become something of, if you're not from this lineage and this line, and I'm from that line, and you're not from this faction and I'm from that faction, it's become such a cat and mouse and such immaturity that it's actually stopped the progress of Moorish Americans.
Facts.
So there are other people who don't wish to partake in that juvenile type of behavior because they would rather, because they already understand, they're seeing and knowing what it takes in order to reach the people. So they're using their talents as Moorish Americans, working in conjunction with some Moors that they do respect within the confines of the temple. But rest assured, expecting many people, you are not going to expect someone like a Khalid Muhammad to come into the temple and sit at the feet of anybody. We're not wired that way. We're not made that way. So understand the fact that there's an entire nation of Moors who are willing to stand up in the name of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who have no interest to ever walk into any temple door. And they are very proficient in history, very proficient in Moorish American history, and they love Prophet Noble Drew Ali. There's an entire nation just waiting for you.
Well, I think he was speaking to these rogue Moors that just grab something.
And I see what the Moor said, and what the Moor said. It does make sense, you know, because
absolutely, and I'm about to expound upon that.
True knowledge is going to come from within, you know. But you know, the whole thing is a lot of these cats don't even know the basic foundation. So when I'm talking about sitting at the feet, I'm talking about, look, man, come in here. The worst grand sheet should be able to give you the basics, by divine constitution and bylaws, questionnaire, and take you through some degrees in the Quran. You know, you got to get the basics. And a lot of these cats jump in here and want to run straight to the high sciences, and you're just not ready. And I agree with you more. But the thing is, for somebody to say that they love the prophet, you can't. And this is just my opinion. You can't say you love a man and his teaching, and then you won't follow the way he told you to go in order to get what he's trying to give you. Now, you know, if you can't humble yourself because you feel that look, I've read a lot of things. I'm aware of a lot of different things, but I had to back up. I had to bag all the way up because I had to bag all the way up because when I got Moorish Science, what I got was what I thought was Moorish Science was the sovereignty conversation. So I had to bag all the way up. And because if you learn the divine constitution by law and additional laws, if you just learn that document alone, if you commit that to your memory, you will be able to look on the horizons of Moorish Science and tell the reals from the fakers just by knowing that document alone.
Right. Well, I want to say this so we don't get bogged down on it.
That's a very good point, brother. Go, please, Tarka, go ahead. But the brother made a lot of sense, and I concur with that.
I can say this. I know for a fact, I've studied the Prophet Noble Drew Ali through and through. And I know for a fact the Prophet Noble Drew Ali had many, many Moors that fought for the cause and never walked through temple doors. I've studied the Prophet Noble Drew Ali through and through. Now, one of the things that I do in my temple is when people join, especially the brick and mortar, I ask, in what capacity are you able to be a member? What capacity? Meaning that I'm not going to beat you down if you can't make it every Friday. I'm not going to beat you down if you can't make it every Sunday. But what I need you to do is to be there when we about to get political, when we about to build, when we need some hands to grab some drywall, we need some hands on a couple of dollars, we need some, you know what I mean? In what aspect can you play? What role can you play in building of this nation? You see what I'm saying? And I'm talking about the microcosmic nation of Temple number 22, you know, because I know for a fact when the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said he got 3,000 Muslims ready to move on the command of his voice to vote by the candidates that he have chosen or that they have chosen, I know for a fact that there wasn't one building owned or rented by the Moors that can hold 3,000 Muslims in Chicago. So that means to me that he had strong support in and outside of the temple. Now, those rogue willy-nilly Moors, they definitely need to go and sit at the feet of somebody. They need to humble themselves. Sitting at the feet only means humble yourself. They do. I'm listening more.
It's fine, man, because the thing is that, you know, coming out of the grave of a Negro, black, and colored, there are a lot of character issues associated with those marks that were placed on us. And the whole point of one of them, I can't say the whole point, but one of the points of coming into the temple is of rebuilding, of first of all, tearing down that old filthy character and rebuilding it up. That's all that you gotta clean yourself up. It cracks me up to see Moors claiming to be Moorish American models, and at the drop of a dime, as soon as somebody say something they don't like, and then they're ready to curse you out or be disrespectful to your brother. That doesn't make sense. And then when I see that, all it is a character thing. I know what it is. And these brothers, they don't understand it. And you gotta clean your character up. You gotta purify your thoughts. You gotta change your thoughts. You know, that's why when it says your thoughts are all wrong, because you've been programmed to think opposite. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm just trying to share.
Yeah, brother, we appreciate that.
The whole purposes of the temple. And I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna hang up more. I'm gonna just listen, you know, because I don't want to monopolize this, because this is for everybody. But all of you young Muslims out there, just go through the temple and humble yourself, because if you can't humble yourself for your nation, you're not going to be any good to the nation, because you're going to always want to fly off the hook because of your feelings. Or, you know, everybody has feelings, but you got to be able to check those. And with that, I say peace and love. Islam. Peace and love, family. And I appreciate it, brother. That's a good conversation, man. You know, it's wonderful when Moors can come together and really you know, agree on some things, disagree on some things, and make it happen. But let me show you something. This is how crazy this is, and I'll let Ish wrap it up. This is how crazy this is. This brother here, Tex Mason. This brother here, running around calling himself Moorish American. How can you be Moorish American without first being Moroccans? Impossible. He's never been to a temple. He don't understand what it means. He doesn't understand what it means to be a Moorish American. The Prophet Noble Ali said we are descendants from Moroccans. He didn't say that we Moroccans as it relates to being a national. He didn't say that. You know what I mean? And then he used this term, you are what your ancient forefathers were, without a doubt or contradiction. Okay, no problem. Guess what? We are from various parts of the ancient world. Various parts of the ancient world. Don't try to seclude somebody with a Moroccan, exclude everything else and box somebody in of a Moroccan national. That's the reason I coined my name, or donned my name, to be Tahaka Bey, to show the unity between ancient Kemet and the Moors. Because we are the same people. Because before there was people on the land that's called Morocco today, they came from somewhere. So wherever they came from, if somebody develop a treaty, does that make me a partner in the treaty? No. We descended from ancient Canaanites. If I find an old Canaanite treaty, does that make me a partner of it? No. Because the ancient land of Canaan and the kingdoms of Canaan, if you will, they no longer are in existence. Just as the Moroccan Empire is no longer in existence. Get it through your head. But this brother makes a video to talk about, and look at this, how smooth he talk. This is passive aggressive.
It really applies to Moroccans, but not Moorish Americans. But Moorish Americans are Moroccans. You're creating
Moorish Americans, not Moroccans.
A contradiction.
See, he doesn't understand because he's never been in a temple. He doesn't understand because he never studied the script of Prophet Noble Ali. He never picked up though, and this is what, to my brother point that he was making about sit. Now this guy needs to sit at the at the feet of a grand sheikh that knows the difference between Moroccans and descendant of Moroccans and Moroccan citizens. See, that brother needs to sit at the foot because he has no clue. He has no clue, you know. So I say this, Ish, whether you join the temple or not, brother, you are Moorish American through and through. You have always supported the channel with your information, unbiased, even to the point where you and I bumped heads and we moved on from that, and we still continue with the good fight. You
absolutely, brother.
Brought some of the greatest minds of our time to the channel. Dr. Wesley Muhammad, Dr. Kittles, my good brother and friend of recent, Brother Malik Zulu Shabazz, and the list goes on. So you are Moorish American through and through. You are one of the ones that was there with the prophet, but you may not was in the temple, but you was there as a vanguard to make sure nobody crossed the line, in the words of my brother Tazariah. Cross the line. And you was right there so they won't cross the line, and you there today, and I appreciate you. Anything in closing, brother?
No, brother. I want to thank you for having such a great, productive show. I want to thank the callers that are actually called in, as well as your viewers. I think it was a very important topic. I think that we addressed some very important issues, and just brought to the light some parts of this series that you were dealing with. Thank you for dedicating your forum to such an important part. As a series of addressing these particular things, just making it the public record so that people will have a reference point. Sometimes they say, well, this person has on a FEZ just like the next person. But then now they can say, well, just go to Moorish World TV and put up this title here. And now they have all the information. All the links have been supplied to them, the various points of view. Yes, we are all many Moorish Americans. We're all Moors. We may all be descendants of spin-off groups of the Moorish Science Temple, but we're not all the same. Portray one thing, we have to be able to clarify, well, that's not including me, because our babies have bays and our babies have eels and Ali's and different names also. So we don't want to get lumped in with anyone who's engaging in anything that may be controversial, anything that may be seen as subversive to the United States government. The country of Morocco has its own constitution. That constitution was established in 1962, and they function under that constitution. There's no confusion of that constitution to the United States Constitution. Prophet Noble Drew Ali told us that we are under the fold of the United States Constitution. So we're not Moroccan Americans. We're not Moroccans. They have their own constitution. They have their own treaties. They have their own. There's no dual citizenship here. So we just want to make sure there's no confusion in that. And I think that you've been very responsible in dedicating a series to that. And I salute you for that, brother. Thank you.
Indeed, brother. And it's my pleasure. Like I said, if brothers still want a challenge, I will accept the challenge. But for right now, we're going to move on into this civic plan. We're going to talk about what's going on in April with my brother Malik Zulu Shabazz. We're going to try to get, if we can find a time to get Dr. Kittles back on the show. We're going to see if we can get brother Ali Bey, some of the Moors that helped start the platform off and bring it back to some of the information. We're still going to address issues that plague the Moorish paradigm, but we're going to try to move on and get people the alternative. You know what I mean? We're going to give people the alternative to what they're used to on the highways and byways. And that's a practical application of the Moorish science as taught by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Peace and love, family. I'm out.